Hey everyone, welcome back to 996, the first game of the season, the first ever real NHL game played in Utah. Utah wins 5-2 against the Chicago Blackhawks. What a game. Hockey is finally here. The Utah team looked great. Those jerseys, love how deep that black is. Just an unbelievable experience to watch. So much hype. The crowd was way into it, but let's get into the game here. Was it an amazing full 60-minute pedal to the metal game by Utah? No, there's a lot of growth to be had this season, but a lot of great things that we saw take part in this game. First off, I just want to say I never even knew Josh Stone could play center. He never played center for the 11 games with the Coyotes last season. Not even with the Tucson Roadrunners did he play much center. So he's centering the third line with Michelli and Krause. You learn something new every day, I guess. Surprise Kerfoot wasn't in that spot. But hopefully, if Josh Stone could be a great third line center as a stopgap between when Bukestad gets back, maybe it might inject some offense on that third line, which we were sort of missing some threatening offensive pressure by that third line tonight against the Blackhawks. But let's get into it. 1 minute in, the Blackhawks with an unbelievable chance. The puck caroms off the backboards right in front of Ingram, and there's a Chicago player right there all alone. Ingram has to make a big stop on that. There were some good chances, a Keller to Hayden chance, and then right before the first ever goal in Utah franchise history by none other than the Gunslinger, Dylan Guenther, one of the best, if not the best player on the ice tonight. I might give it an edge to Ingram, but in terms of skaters, I think Guenther was the best player on the ice here. What a shot, what a release by Guenther, assisted by Kesselring and Cooley. Guenther gets this shot off so quickly that Mrazek, the goaltender for the Blackhawks, couldn't even get set into his butterfly position. Just one times it off a great pass by Kesselring right through past Mrazek into the back of the net. After that goal, Chicago actually had a great shift. Pretty much all 2 minutes for that shift, Chicago had it in Utah zone, cycling around behind the net, generated some chances, but that was it for Chicago because Utah goes right back on the offense. McBain with 2 posts back to back. He didn't get on the score sheet tonight, McBain, but he deserved to. He looks to be filling in that role that Krause did at the end of last season with Cooley and Guenther. He's doing a great job with them too. And then the second goal of the night, Captain Keller scores from Schmaltz and Hayden. Schmaltz causing a turnover. I love the way Nick Schmaltz back checks. He just needs to do a little bit more consistently, but one of the best in the league at takeaways, back checking, stick lifting. I love it. He causes a turnover at the blue line and then a bit of a scramble bouncing puck, and Keller scores to make it 2-0. They go on a power play after that, their only power play of the game, and they couldn't convert, and they leave the first period up 2-0. Bedard completely invisible in that first period. Utah outshot Chicago 7-3. I thought Utah was all over it. They rode the momentum and the emotion from the crowd in that first period. Then things get a bit dicey to start the second period. It was all Chicago. Hall takes a shot. It hits Ingram in the shoulder. It looks like it's going to fall into the net, but it falls on top of the net. Kurashev breaks through like the whole Utah defense, finds himself in a little partial breakaway. Ingram has to save it there. There was literally just one good chance Utah had, which was an O'Brien to Kerfoot chance, and then Chicago hits a bunch of posts. The crowd is trying to do their best to grab the momentum back from the Chicago by chanting, "Let's go Utah." After that, they go with spicy tuna. They go with a spicy tuna chant, and while they're chanting, Hayden scores off a deflection from a point shot from Sergachev. Schmaltz gets in on the goal as well with a secondary assist. Hayden scoring in the early going of the season. It's a rarity. I tweeted this out But last season, it took 12 games for Hayden to score his first goal. The year before that, 29 games it took Hayden to score a goal. I'm sure he's loving it. The way he celebrated that goal when everyone thought it was a Sergachev goal, you knew he really, really wanted to score early in this season and just start this season off on a good note. And he should be well on his way to eclipsing that 50-point total expectation I have set up for Hayden. After that Hayden goal, they go on a penalty kill, Utah does, and they get into a lot of trouble here near the end of the second. They kill off that penalty, but after killing it off, Chicago scores. A weird play happens right before the Utah blue line where Bedard has possession of the puck and Sergachev is right there lined up for a hit, but he sort of eases off on a hit. I'm not sure why he lets him go. I'm not sure if Sergachev thought it could have been in a knee-on-knee situation. I don't know why Sergachev didn't just go and lay the body on Bedard. I'm sure Bill Armstrong went down from the press box, went in the dressing room and was like, Sergachev, you got to hit the body right there. Because he lets Bedard go. He makes a nifty pass to his teammate, and the teammate roofs it over Ingram to make it 3-1. There's a big scrum after that goal the next shift later involving Keller and then Dursey and former Coyote Connor Murphy. He throws some punches on Dursey's face while Dursey is literally on the ice being kept down by the referees. Murphy's just laying them into Dursey. Dursey didn't like it. I didn't like it. And Utah goes on a penalty kill even after all that. They go on 2 back-to-back penalty kills to end the second period. Thankfully, they keep the lead going into the third period, up 3-1. Early third, it was all Utah. They were out shooting Chicago 5-1 in the first 5 minutes, generating some chances. But after that, it was all Chicago again. Big stretches of moments in this game. The Blackhawks just overtook the momentum, putting Utah on their heels. Utah had to rely on a lot of goaltending this game, especially in the third period. Ingram has to save a huge breakaway save on Taylor Hall. But before that, Chicago makes it 3-2 off a point shot tipped right in front of Ingram. After that was a breakaway from Hall. Then there was Bedard doing a lacrosse Michigan. He gets denied on that. Chicago post. It was all Chicago near the end of the third. You're kind of your heart's beating. You can't breathe properly. You're trying to get your breath going and you're just clenching. Is this it? Are we going to go into overtime? Is Utah going to lose this game? Thankfully, Chicago pulls the goalie and the Gunslinger again is second of the game, assisted by Cooley and Dursey to make it 4-2, ices the game, and a sigh of relief can be heard in the whole arena, myself as well. Thank God Utah able to escape this one. And near the end, it wasn't over then. Lawson Krause, who was really quiet this game, along with Michelli. I thought they were the 2 quietest players for Utah. An unusual quietness from those 2 players. Usually they're doing their magic on the ice, but Krause gets a goal assisted by Ian Cole, and Utah wins 5-2. Didn't really like this game all that much outside of the first period. They need to do whatever they did in the first period and stretch that over a 60-minute game. Shots were 28-26 in favor of Chicago. Again, shots on goal a bit too low for me. It needs to be high 20s, hitting those 30s. Power play, they were 0 for 1. I thought they deserved a couple more power plays. Maybe they needed more O-zone possession to draw some more penalties, but only 1 power play was a bit unfortunate. Penalty kill, perfect, 3 for 3. And face-offs, they're at 50%. Can't complain about 50%. I've seen some games where they're 35%. So that's it for me. The first game is over in the books. They hit the road, 4 games on the road. I believe the Islanders are next Thursday night, and then the Rangers Saturday, Devils Monday, and then an odd Anaheim game after an East Coast trip to close out the first 5 games of the season. But it's great that Utah won the first game, Get that monkey off your back quickly. You're not, waiting for when's that game going to come where we get the first win. They already got the first win. They got a lot of work to do. They know which areas to improve on. Get some more chemistry, maybe on the back end. A little bit too soft for me, but it's a great stepping stone to get even better. And I'm so happy that the crowd in Utah got to experience a great game and a first ever win at home in the first ever game for the franchise. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.